Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Coffee with Katie. Got some cold brew with cold foam as per usual with my little Grounds and Hounds cup. It's so cute. It was free with my coffee purchase. So today's video is going to be my August TBR. You know how this works, let's just get into it and talk about all the books that I'm planning on reading in August. If I can get to them, we'll see. So this is going to be a little bit of a wild card, partially because a couple of these are some books that I've been meaning to get to for a very long time. They've intrigued me, but I was kind of scared to read them. And I think I'm going to give them a shot. And if I hate them, I'll DNF them and read something else, you know? The first one is not that, but the first one that I'm planning on reading is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. I read my first B.K. Borison book last Christmas. I read Love Light Farms, and I actually really enjoyed it. I liked her writing, and I liked the story overall, and I understand why people really enjoy it. And I do want to read more of this author's works, and so I thought this one would be a good one. I also wanted to read this one because my friend Kate read it, and she loved it. It's one of my really, really good friends, and we both read a lot of books, so I appreciate her recommendation, and so I kind of want to give it a shot. It says, a hopeless romantic meets a jaded radio host in this cozy, sleepless in Seattle-inspired love story from beloved author B.K. Borison. Aiden Valentine has a secret. He's fallen out of love with love. And as the host of Baltimore's romance hotline, that's a bit of a problem. But when a young girl calls into the station asking for dating advice for her mom, the interview goes viral, thrusting Aiden and heartstrings into the limelight. Lucy Stone thought she was doing just fine. She has a good job, an incredible family, and a smart, slightly devious kid. But when all of Baltimore is suddenly scrutinizing her love life, or lack thereof, she begins to question if she's as happy as she thought. Maybe a little more romance wouldn't be such a bad thing. Everyone wants Lucy to find her happy ending, even the handsome, temperamental man calling the shots. But when sparks start to fly behind the scenes, Lucy must make the final call between the radio-sponsored Happily Ever After or the man in the headphones next to her. Sounds cute. Sounds like an easy read, too, so I'm curious how that will go. The next one I want to read is dark romance. So here's the thing. Lights Out is the only truly dark romance. Maybe Devil of Dublin are the only dark romances I've read that I've liked. I've read one other, maybe two others that I did not like. So the genre intrigues me. I'm curious, but I'm scared because certain things will upset me. So I kind of, funnily enough, my best friend, Laura, I was like, hey, you should read this series. I was totally upfront about it, but I was like, you should read this series because I kind of want to read it, but I'm afraid. And she ended up reading it and reading the whole thing, and she liked it. She's like, it's not something I would rave about, but I like it. I think you would like it. So I would like to try Corrupt by Penelope Douglas because I'm just curious, and I've been curious for years, and so I think it's just time for me to give it a shot. If I hate it, I'll put it down. But this is the first book in the Devil's Night series. This is dark romance, so when I'm reading synopsis and summaries and stuff, just bear with me, okay? But Erica was told that dreams were our heart's desire. My nightmares, however, became my obsession. His name is Michael Christ. My boyfriend's older brother is like that scary movie that you peek through your hand to watch. He's handsome, strong, and completely terrifying. The star of his college basketball team and now gone pro. He's more concerned with the dirt on his shoes than me. But I noticed him, I saw him, I heard him, the things that he did, and the deeds that he hid. For years, I bit my nails, unable to look away. Now I've graduated high school and moved on to college, but I haven't stopped watching Michael. He's bad, and the dirt I've seen isn't content to stay in my head anymore, because he's finally noticed me. Her name is Erica Fain, but everyone calls her Rika. My brother's girlfriend grew up hanging around my house and is always at our dinner table. She looks down when I enter a room and stills when I'm close. I can always feel the fear rolling off of her, and while I haven't had her, I know I have her mind. That's all I really want anyway, until my brother leaves for the military, and I find Rika alone at college, in my city, unprotected. The opportunity is too good to be true, as well as the timing, because you see, 3 years ago she put a few of my high school friends in prison, and now they're out. We've waited, we've been patient, and not every last one of her nightmares will come true. I know that sounds horrible, but I've heard kind of good things about it. I've heard the story's pretty interesting, and there's some twists along the way that are fun / interesting, intriguing. So I'm gonna try it. Send help. Give me moral support. Help. Wish me luck. Another one that I'm curious about for the same reason dark romance, been kind of curious, but also terrified to read it. But it keeps coming to my mind, so I just want to give it a try, and then we'll see how it goes. This one is more so because I feel like people mention, like in book boyfriend videos all the time, people will mention him, and they mention him a lot, and so I'm curious. I don't think I'll ever read Hunting Adeline, Never Say Never, I know. So that one's like, whenever Zaid Meadows gets mentioned, I'm like, no, thank you. But this one keeps getting mentioned, and I'm just intrigued. So I'm gonna try it. I might hate it, but that's okay. We'll try. And that is The Ritual by Chantal Tessier, a dark college romance. This one's kind of interesting because I think it's like a cult almost. Maybe not. Let's see. I vow, you vow, we vow. Barrington University is home of the Lords, a secret society that requires their blood in payment. They are above all the most powerful men in the world. They devote their lives to violence in exchange for power. And during their senior year, they are offered a chosen one. People think growing up with money is freeing, but I promise you it's not. My entire life has been planned out for me. I never got the chance to do what I wanted until Riot Alexander Archer came along and gave me an option for a better life. He offered me what no one else ever had, freedom. I chose to be his. He made me believe that anyway, but it was just another lie. A way that the Lords manipulate you into doing what they want. After being sucked into this dark, twisted world of the Lords, I embraced my new role and allowed Riot to parade me around like a trophy I was to him. But like all things, what started out as a game soon became a fight for survival, and the only way out was death. So I'm curious, secret society, mystery, dark, crime kind of stuff sounds like it's going on. So I'm curious. It's okay to be curious. We'll see if it pays off or if I regret everything. And now, not in that genre. One of my most anticipated releases of the year is coming out in August, which is Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Maher. This comes out August 7th, so it's so close. I'm very excited about that. If you don't know what this is, it's the third book in the Assistant to the Villain series. Assistant to the Villain is like a... Sorry if you hear those sirens. It's like a mythological, medieval fairy tale type of a story. It's like... what you normally picture princess medieval settings in a fairy tale world, but it's kind of funny, and it's got like an office twist where she is the assistant to the villain and he lives in this castle, but she's like bringing him his morning reports and his morning coffee and is like helping him balance his schedule, stuff like that. So it's really funny. I think the story is absolutely hilarious, but there also is a plot going on and a story that's unraveling and mysteries, and the good guys are kind of the bad guys in a lot of ways. It's a really interesting story. I think some people thought that this was going to be like a dark romance situation or a dark fantasy romance situation, but it's not. It's a lot more lighthearted and cutesy, but I really love that about it. So I've loved this series to death, and this is the third and final book. So it's like a bittersweet moment, but I'm very excited to read it and see how the story wraps up because I love it. Can't give you a synopsis, obviously, because it's the last book in the series. And then the next one is actually one, it was on my July TBR, but the release date got changed at some point in time, and it wasn't updated when I looked it up. So I thought it was coming out July 17th. It's not. It's coming out July 31st, which is wild because it's a Thursday, and apparently books are coming out on Thursdays now in the US. Usually in the US, it's on Tuesdays. And I'm feasibly not gonna be able to finish it in July, therefore. So I'm gonna put it in my August TBR because I feel like this will be lighthearted enough to help me with the balance the dark romance stuff as well. And I have fallen in love with this author and have liked all of her works thus far. And that is How to Lose a Lord in 10 Days by Sophie Irwin. You've heard me rave about this. I talked about this in my July TBR, so I'm just gonna kind of copy paste a little bit. Essentially, he wants a wife, she wants to be jilted. He is in love with her, and kind of some circumstances unravel, and she accepts his proposal. He proposes to her, she accepts, but she has 10 days to back out of it until like before it gets announced to everyone, before she's like ruined, whatever, societal faux pas. So she's trying to get out of it, and that just sounds like a real fun time. He's super handsome. Everybody wants to be him, or everybody wants to be with him except for her, and that's the only person he wants. So it sounds like just absolute funny, chaotic, interesting story. And I particularly loved A Lady's Guide to Scandal, so I trust you, Sophie. Can't wait to read this book. And then I'm going to do a shelf pick just in case I have time. I might not because this is 5 books. That's usually my average. But just in case, we'll do the Death Star shelf pick. Never know if I should dig deep, if I should take from the top. Yeah, this is just such a struggle. I got The Devil in the Dark Water. I've read this. I need to update this. Okay. Okay, I think I got a book. I keep getting books that I've unhauled, so I really need to update this. So let me keep going. Okay, after an absolute chaos that was of drawing books I've unhauled, I got Reaper at the Gates by Saba Tahir, which is actually exciting because it's the 3rd book in the Ember in the Ashes series, and I've been wanting to continue the series, so that actually works out pretty well for me. Let me grab it. Reaper at the Gates. Like I said, book 3 in the Ember in the Ashes series, and Ember in the Ashes. Obviously I can't give you spoilers for the 3rd book, but the first 2 books are really interesting. It's kind of like a Roman Empire inspired fantasy. It's been very good so far. Very cutthroat, very evil, very terrifying. Obviously there's heroes and stuff, but the whole thing is scary. There's like a big plot with rebels and the evil like empire government. And in the first book, the slave Laya, she goes into slavery to be a spy, and she ends up kind of befriending a soldier in this empire. He's like one of the top ones, but he is having like an identity crisis and doesn't really know what he wants, and kind of thinks that maybe he's on the wrong side. And things go from there, but this is the 3rd book out of 4, and so I would love to get to this because I do want to finish this series, and I keep putting it off. Not intentionally, it just hasn't happened, so I'm very excited to continue this if I have time. Well, those are all of the books that I'm planning on reading in August. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know one book you're planning on reading in August. But for now, that is it for today's video. Please like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you next time. Stay safe and caffeinated. Bye.